Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Police corporal on murder charge offered bail. Police corporal Damon Old, 44, was offered $1 million bail before the Supreme Court in Kingston. The allegations are that in September 2019, the policeman fatally shot one of two men he was pursuing along the Connolly Avenue in Kingston 4. The incident was captured on closed-circuit television. In applying for bail, the policeman's attorney, Peter Champney QC, and Richard Lynch submitted that their client fired his service weapon in self-defense based on reports received. It was reported that the deceased man, Odile Lambert, otherwise called Ruff, was involved in an armed robbery in the area. Corporal Damon had initially been denied bail last year as a result of another charge against him, that of wounding with intent. However, in that matter, he was found not guilty. He was represented by the same attorneys. In making the application, Damon's lawyer argued that there has been a material change in circumstances to involve the fact that the other case was resolved in his favor. In granting bail, the court ordered very strict conditions, including reporting to the Office of the Commissioner of Police and restrictions from visiting the area where the incident is alleged to have happened. Damon is expected to face trial in October 2023. Probe to get underway into leaked Barnett video. An investigation is to be launched following the unauthorized release of a video in which murder-accused Rushane Barnett is being examined by 4 Justices of the Peace (JPs), including a medical doctor, the Ministry of Justice has said. Barnett, 23, has been charged with 5 counts of murder after slaying a mother and her 4 children in Clarendon 2 weeks ago. He is a cousin of the victims. In a press statement issued on Monday, the Justice Ministry noted that JPs have an obligation to perform voluntary community-based activities as required by the Customs, which include visits to prisons to ensure the rights of persons in custody are protected and dignity respected in prisons and lockups. However, notice is taken with great concern of a video being circulated on social media in which 4 JPs, one being a medical doctor, are seen questioning the condition and health of accused Rushane Barnett whilst the engagement was being videotaped. The matter will be fully investigated, and if the investigation shows breaches of the Justices of the Peace Act 2018 and any JP's Code of Conduct, there will be consequences, the news release stated. Section 73E of the first schedule of the Act outlines that a JP must safeguard the confidentiality of information that comes to him or her and must never disclose the information except permitted by law. Several calls to Custos of St. Andrew Ian Forbes' cell phone went unanswered on Monday, while reporters were not able to reach Chairman of the Medical Council of Jamaica, Dr. Kenneth Vaughan, after contacting the organization. In the approximately 6-minute-long recording, which surfaces on social media last week, concerns were raised in some quarters about the rights of Barnett as well as the possibility of its release impacting the court case. It showed Barnett being questioned by the team of JPs, which included Dr. Cook. The JP stated that they were present to protect the rights of the accused and to address any breach of such rights. However, the Lay Magistrate Association of Jamaica (LMAJ) has distanced itself from the JPs and has condemned their actions. The association said the actions of the JPs contradicted the tenets of their office and are also not in accordance with the approved modus operandi in the execution of duties. Any justice of peace who act along with these lines in acting on their own, as these actions are incongruous to those laid out by the Justice of the Peace Act 2018, it said in a statement issued on Monday. The LMAJ referenced Section 72B, first schedule of the Act, which states a JP must remain unbiased in the exercise of their functions and must take all necessary steps to avoid conflicts and interests, real or perceived, and to uphold the integrity of the office. The association said the release of the video, whether intentional or otherwise, taunts the impartiality of the role of the JP. Reporters have learned that the video has mistakenly sent to a cell phone number thought to be that of the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom personnel because there was no representative present at the time of the medical examination from the agency. But Indicom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner said on Monday that Indicom operates independently and would not have participated in the medical examination of Barnett. We work independently, objectively, and impartially. We do not transfer any aspect of it to any authority. What we had requested of the custody officer was that Barnett should get medical attention, he said, noting that the document was served on June 29. Meanwhile, Barnett's attorney, Tamika Harris, has suggested that her client never indicated that he was abused while in the custody of the police. From what I understand, he never said that the police beat him. What he said was that they threatened him, so I am not sure if the justices of the peace expected to see threat marks on his body, she said. Harris told reporters that at the time Barnett made statement to the court, she was not his legal representative, but noted that she had sought to get the transcript of proceedings. When I get that transcript, I am going to open another can of worms, she warned. Government pushes for higher standards of investigation, prosecution for gun crimes. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security Courtney Williams says the government is working to develop and promote higher standards for investigation and prosecution of trafficking in firearms and related crimes. While speaking at Monday's launch of a 5-day training workshop organized by the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, UNODC, Williams said the proliferation and increased access to illegal firearms account for the high level of armed violence and insecurity across the region. Jamaica and other small islands developing states continue to suffer from extremely high levels of homicides, with firearms being the weapon of choice for committing most of these acts of crime and violence. In 2021, firearms were used in the commission of approximately 85% of the 1,463 murders committed, with a further 1,070 persons being shot and injured, he stated. He pointed out that despite 2 seizures of the island's ports recently, the average confiscation of illicit weapons suggests there is an active underground supply of illegal guns, which warrants a coordinated, comprehensive, and strategic response in regulating access to small arms and their parts, components, and ammunition. The current review of the Firearms Act set out 2 distinct frameworks to treat with crime that are duly registered and weapons that have been illicitly manufactured or trafficked and have never been subjected to any regulatory regime, he said. In addition, the government continues to enhance the capacity in areas such as firearms marking and tracing to enhance the capacity to successfully apprehend and prosecute offenses involving illicit firearms that are trafficked into the island, the Permanent Secretary said. Meanwhile, Gary Conneal, United Nations Resident Coordinator in Jamaica, explained the Saving Lives entity, funded Jamaica formed part of the commitment of both the government and the United Nations to address the high levels of armed violence in a country with nearly 50 homicides per 100 people and the highest homicide rate in Latin America and the Caribbean. The link between illicit firearms and related criminality with development is strong. The international community has recognized this link by including a specific target, Target 16.4, in the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda to reduce illicit arms flow as a step towards peace, justice, and the rule of law. The efforts towards this goal has been reinforced by Caribbean countries including Jamaica through the implementation of a regional roadmap to reduce illicit firearms in the Caribbean, which the UN is also proud to be supporting, Conneal said. A solid and effective criminal justice response is cornerstone in these efforts. Without adequate investigations and prosecution of seized firearms, we cannot identify the criminal network involved in the illicit flows and hence bring responsible individuals to justice and proactively reduce the number of weapons from our streets, he added. Saline Jamaica was established last month by the United Nations Development Programme and UNODA and serves to enhance the legal and policy frameworks of firearms, strengthen criminal justice response capacities, and foster a culture of no violence through education and awareness raising. A bill to replace and repeal the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act is currently before the Joint Selected Committee of Parliament. The new bill is targeted at ensuring greater prohibition, restriction, and regulation of firearms and ammunition and connected matters. Cecil Cooper Foundation provides scholarships for Edna Manley College students. Students of the Edna Manley College for the Visual and Performing Arts have an opportunity to receive tuition assistance through a scholarship program spearheaded by the Cecil Cooper Foundation. The program was launched on June 17 concurrently with the inaugural Cecil Cooper Scholarship Exhibition, which is slated to run until July 16. The exhibition features never-before-seen work by the late artist as well as pieces by this year's third scholarship recipients, the first cohort of beneficiaries. It aims to honor the life and work of one of Jamaica's prominent artistic talents and to nurture the talent of the next generation of Jamaican artists. Selected students will benefit from several scholarships and bursaries made available through the program. Speaking at the exhibition on July 2nd at the Olympia Gallery, Old Harbour Road, St. Andrew, widow of the late artist Rose Bennett Cooper said the scholarship program is seeking to fill a need for nurturing talented young students. The intention of the foundation is to establish a trust fund that will, as we go forward, provide scholarships and bursaries for students every year, she explained. The students selected as this year's recipients are in their final year in the painting department of the Edna Manley College. A series of events have been planned for the exhibition. The July 2nd event featured the Jamaica launch of the book, The Black and White Museum, by Jamaican-born writer, journalist, and broadcaster Ferdinand Dennis. On July 9, there will be a paint and sip event, while the exhibition's closing cocktail and award ceremony will be held on July 16. There will be an international online silent auction of Cecil Cooper's painting, Rescue on Canvas. The series is to be concluded with the National Dance Theatre Company, NDTC Gala, and benefit performance to be staged on July 29 at the Little Theatre in Kingston. For tickets and information, call 876-402-4437, 876-948-4370, or visit website cecilcooperfoundation.com. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.